All right, good morning, everybody. Mike Rains here with Remax Terrasol, helping you buy and sell residential real estate in the Orange County market. So welcome to the Mike Rains Real Estate channel, where we try to bring you as much value as possible. Down in the bottom there, you'll see my logo. Hit that and subscribe and like this channel. I appreciate that very much. So today we're going to jump into a market update. Today's Tuesday. It is the 23rd of August. So these numbers are the latest in there. I'd like to be able to just share my screen and just kind of go through this process here. And there we go. So today we're going to be talking about this demand fighting inventory. So they're kind of sitting on opposite ends of each other. And so we want to know, how's that affecting it? So we have issues with demand, we have issues with inventory that persist. And so how does that affect you as a buyer? How does it affect you as a seller? And so that's what we're going to be talking about. But first, we're going to kind of give a little market update here. So what's the market snapshot for today? So we try to bring you the latest numbers on that. So right now, currently in Orange County, inventory available homes, it's still sitting at about 4,036 homes. And that includes the coming soons that we know about that are listed as a coming soon status. And that we're going to look at and see how that is in comparison to in the past. We also have interest rates that have gone up and down, up and down. And one of the reasons that we're going to look at demand, how that has changed, is because the interest rates rose really quickly starting from March to June, and now has kind of come back down a little bit, but now they're starting to tick up a little bit. So the current rate today is 5 to 5 1/8, depending on which program you're doing, credit scores and other kinds of stuff like that. So, but those are the rates you can expect for a 30-year fixed loan on that today. The demand side, which is measured by new inventory escrows that go into escrow, that is. So that has ticked up slightly to 1,849 escrows going right now in the last couple of weeks. And also the expected market time for homes under a 1.5, which is a majority of where the market is in the Orange County area. There's definitely homes that are well more expensive than that, but on average, for most of those homes, it's about 60 to 63 days to get that home sold. So when you look at it, it only takes about, if you didn't have any more homes that come on the market, you're looking at 2.25 months to sell through all of what's available. And that's not a lot. So it's still higher than it was at the beginning of the year. So if you remember some of my updates at the beginning of the year in January, I was reporting inventory available in all of Orange County at about 1,700 or so homes. So that's super duper low. So what does this mean for you? That's kind of what you want to know. We're still in a slight seller's market. When you get between 60 and 90 days, and we're just into that 63 days, that's still a seller's market, but it's more of a slight seller's market. When you get over 90 days, that's when it becomes a balanced market. And when you go higher than that, that's when it flips over and becomes a buyer's market. Also, the demand is still steady, but definitely lower than the average. And that's something that we will take a look at too. Inventory is likely peaked for the year. So every year we go through this like spring jump up of inventory as it launches into the year. And then it starts to kind of peak around July, August. So naturally, you're going to see that anyway. But we also have people that have locked in lower interest rates over the years that don't want to make a move simply because they have a locked in low interest rate at 2.5% to 3%. And they don't want to come on the market because they don't know where they're going to go, for one. And number two, they don't want to have a higher interest rate at 5%. So that's one of the reasons that inventory will persist on the lower side. When you look at where we are sitting now, you'll see that orange line right there. That's 2022. See how in July it just flatlined. So here we are towards the end of August. And so when you look at that, we're kind of look like we've topped out. And in all of the other years, you'll notice that the purple line, the green line, and that kind of burgundy line have all started heading down to the downside. And that's typical every year. We peak, and then the inventory starts to drop off, and then it really drops off towards the end of the year. So we are looking at lower inventory than 2020 and certainly 2019 still. 2021 was a little bit lower than where we are now. So we're higher now than we were 2021. But the 3-year average, when you look at that, is 6,646 homes. So just over 4,000 homes. You can see that when you take those 3 averages of the year, we're still really well below a couple thousand homes in all of Orange County. And so the inventory is going to persist on a lower level, especially for the remainder of this year. So the other thing that we need to know is that, so with the demand being down like it is, with the supply dropping, this is going to have this offsetting effect. So even though demand has kind of been subdued a little bit because of the higher interest rates, we also have a lower supply of homes, and it's going to get lower even though the interest rates are kind of steady at the moment, kind of trading in a range. You're going to see that more and more people are going to want to buy than homes that are available, and so it's going to keep this property consistency offsetting each other. So there's no real advantage to a buyer or a seller given in that, since they're kind of offsetting. They're fighting each other, but they're offsetting each other as well. Buyers that with inventory likely having peaked, what it means is that choice is going to remain low for you. And so if you're renting right now, you're likely seeing annual increases because of the supply shortage. And even in rentals, you're seeing prices go up. And in our area in Orange County, it's able to go up every year by the CPI number plus 3%. CPI was 8.7. So when you add 3, that's 11.7, or it's capped out at 10%, whichever's lower. So right now, rents are going up by 10% per year. As they bring inflation back down, you'll start to see the rises get smaller, but they're still going to rise. So get I'm saying you should buy because then you're going to be able to lock in your payment versus seeing your rent increase over that. And if you've been renting for a long time, you've kind of seen that money go to someone else, not building up your future, but building up someone else's future on that. So that's all I have for you. So if you are a buyer or seller and you want to talk more about what your situation is, I recommend that you start planning that stuff now because it's good to get a professional in your life. Like myself, I have a mortgage team, CPAs, all that kind of stuff that can help you get yourself into a position to be ready to buy something. If you're a seller and you have to make a move, you're moving up north or moving downsize or out of state or something like that, I can help you with those things and being able to get you lined up with another realtor in another area that's great, that does a fantastic job. So that's what I got for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, like this video. And if you appreciate this kind of content, drop me a comment in the section below so I know and get your feedback. Appreciate you guys. Take care.